Alrighty. Hey there, guys. Mason at Cardinal Gaming. How we doing? I feel like there's a need to talk about Charizard some more. This is Saturday, October 17th. As of right now, I have sold over 30 Charizard cards. Not even old ones, just any old Charizards. On my website, all my base sets were gone as soon as I posted a picture of them on a couple of Facebook groups. Even stuff like from Evolutions, some of the Charizard EXs and GXs and Vs that exist, they're all going. Every Charizard is moving. So much so that yesterday we had to go back through our case and price a lot of stuff and make sure the prices were okay, because the pricing is just going so insane. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's not kind of crazy. It is crazy. Again, that's not worth warranting a video. I say, hey, Charizard's selling really good. That's not worth a video. What is worth a video, I feel is someone that walked in the door yesterday. Random customers asked if we bought Pokemon cards. We said yes. They brought in their collection and had this guy in it. He's not great. He's got a big dent in him. He's got some real bad stuff on the back. But if somebody walks into my store and has one of these and wants to sell it, I'd have to be stupid to let them walk out of the door with it still in their hands. We all know things are going crazy. Prices are crazy. And for this to walk into my door from somebody that's not into collecting, they had a collection that they had, asked if we were buying cards. We always buy cards. Absolutely. And then brings this in because of what they've seen and what they've heard about this card going crazy in price. Just tells you the type of reach. It reinforces my video, my earlier, I guess the last video I did, I haven't posted any other ones since then, about how the market in general, collecting in general, is growing, and that Charizards are the big draw, particularly that one there. So, again, that just tells you that word is getting out, people know, and people that have these cards sitting around in their collections at the house in their binders are going to stores like mine, or on eBay, or on Facebook, or wherever you want to go to sell things, and they're moving these cards. First edition, unlimited, shadowless, base set 2s, anything. Evolutions Charizards are still going up in price. The buyouts on these are insane. Even on TCG Player, you're talking $600 for an unlimited version of this, gone. That is near mint. That tells you exactly how high the demand is right now for stuff like this. And frankly, if you have something like this, it doesn't make sense to sell it right now. Which, of course, just goes into demand and makes that supply lower, but we're all holding, and people are selling that, either need the money or they don't care enough to hold on to it, just want to say, forget it, I just want to move it now because I got, a pretty good amount of money offered to me. I'm just going to move it. But people that are in the hobby and stores like me, I'm not putting that in my case. I'm not selling that raw. Why would I? You're going through and scrolling through eBay and you're seeing, like I said, it's got a pretty bad bend in it, but I'd be stupid to not grade that and have it sent out and have it returned to me. Even if it gets a 3, a 4, a 5, you're talking, numbers with lots of zeros to them. So when you see stuff like this, you really, have to stop and think, how sustainable is a price for grades like this that are, you know, you're seeing thousands of dollars being spent on not tens, nines, eights. I mean, you are, but even for the lower grades, you're seeing move for several $1,000s. And that caused me to think, you know, PSA's in a backlog. They surely have these cards sitting around waiting. They have these guys sitting at their locations. I guess there's only one in California, waiting to get graded, sitting there, hanging out, and it's sitting there while it's appreciating while they have it. And no matter what they grade it, this card is going to be thousands of dollars when they go to send it back to the person that submitted it. Of course, you should be doing this as fast as possible, paying the extra money to get this graded quickly so you can capitalize on this. Or do you? You know, it's nobody knows what the market's going to do. But to my point, I am going to say right now that I don't see this being sustainable. This card in any capacity, for 10s, 9s, 8s, sure. But for a 2 and a 1 or a 3 and a 4, getting several $1,000s, it's a very rare card. It is. I was looking at the population report on PSA. Again, PSA is just one of the grading companies. They are traditionally the one that you would grade this kind of WotC era stuff through. You do have Beckett, you do have CGC, you have all these other companies that do grade, and they have their own populations that are not part of this, so you have to consider that as well. But just, went ahead and looked up what a first edition Charizard population is right now, as of recording now. And again, this number is going to grow, potentially, as the days roll on. Maybe even, you know, by dozens or hundreds, you know. But we don't know how many are just sitting there at PSA waiting to get graded, and how many people have them in binders and want to go ahead and just cash out and take the money, and then somebody else goes off and grades it, you know. So let's take a look. The total amount of Charizards graded by first editions base sets. I'm not saying unlimited, I'm saying shadowless. That's not accounted in this. The ones with the first edition stamp, base set Charizards. There is a population from PSA of 2,552 right now. Of that amount, only 120 of them are 10s. That's a very low population. And then of a 10, when you think of percentages of that total number, 120 out of 2550, that's a very, very small percentage of those cards that are getting 10s. And it makes sense, right? Because they're so old, people have had them around. To get a 10, you would have to have been very careful. Even if you are very careful, you know, the slightest little thing could make that go down to a 9 or an 8. So 10s truly are rare. They truly are a pristine card. They have to be. But you go to the 9s and the 10s, we can go down. PSA 9s, 645. That's a huge jump from the 10 level to a 9. So when you think of the price difference between those cards, it has to be a big difference. It has to be. Obviously, because 9s are not as rare. They are, in the grand scheme of things, still super rare. But, you know, when you got to weigh this kind of information, and then you go to an 8, it's just over 500 of those cards. So you have 1,100 cards of those 2,500 in 8s and 9s. So again, we're getting to where, you know, we're seeing the bulk of the amounts that have been shipped in being that number. 9s and 8s and 9s are the highest number of all of those in the population report. This would be a 7. We're looking at 330. 6s are 368. And then it kind of goes off from down there with a handful being lower grades. But we will see these numbers increased. And when we keep seeing these stories about these things selling, and when we still see, you know, people moving to sell these, I can guarantee you right now, just like me, there are going to be hundreds of these being shipped to PSA. Either already have been and are sitting there, or is going to be sent in very, very soon. It doesn't make sense to not. Because for this card to be raw and be, you know, maybe a couple, $1,000 ish, you know, why would you not just go grade it and turn it into a $5,000 card? It's low effort for exponentially more money. So that's the thing that I worry about and things I get concerned with when I see these numbers, and they just keep going up and up and up and higher and higher, and you know, the mid grades being super expensive as well. We're going to see more of these come out of the market, and sure, people may be hoarding them, even if they are buying them out. If somebody wants to buy out, you know, hundreds and hundreds of mid-grade Charizards, more power to them. I got one on the way, but I just don't see it as being something that, for the long term, that we're going to be seeing them just go higher and higher and higher and higher. Because the more people that get them back, the more that fill up the eBay, and you have more selection. We're going to compete for the prices to go down, just like supply and demand. The rule of capitalism goes. That these numbers are going to be, I think, leveling out very soon. Just because there's got to be more supply. It's just people are wanting to cash out, and that's kind of where you are at. We're deciding where are you holding, or are you selling out now? Are we at the peak? Are we in a midsection? Are we a blip on what it could potentially be? It's hard to know, right? That's the grand question, when to move it. And, you know, unfortunately, there's nobody that has the answer, and even people that have experience in these things have no idea. You know, we could be seeing that 220 million or $220,000 for that PSA 10 that Logic just bought. That could be small potatoes here before too long. We don't know. Or you're going to see, you know, 30 of these of 120 get on the market, and then there's only one logical way for that to go. If there's nobody that wants to fork out that kind of money, they're going to compete for the lowest price to move that card, right? That's just how it is. That's just common sense. So I just don't see there's being a line of buyers at that price. And then, even then, if you're going to pay for a Charizard, you want to get the 10. So yeah, I'm going to go after that, or I'm going to get the 9 or 10. These 4s, 5s, and 6s, these 1s and 2s, you know, I just don't see them being worth the thousands and thousands that they are. This is like the gold rush, where people are running over there. You know, when the California gold rush happened, and then you get a little, you know, 10-foot plot that you're there to pan gold on. And what's in that plot is all you're going to get. Because when the river fills up, and there's people up above you and people down below you that are wanting the same thing and digging just as much as you are, there's going to be less to go around. That's just the way it is. So that's the thing. Like I said, you know, I'm seeing, like, I've never had this in my shop before. I've never had one in my shop. And for it to walk in this week, after the week that it's been, it's not on accident. So people are digging out their collections and going through them and finding these cards to sell. So even in raw, even, you know, and graded, soon to come, I do not see PSA's backlog getting better anytime soon, because there is people that are going to be lining up even now to get their cards graded, because it doesn't make sense to not. And as somebody that does a lot with standard Pokemon, and yeah, I like the collectible cards, and it's cool to have the new shiny stuff. I do have the philosophy that these are, you know, cards to play, and they're built to game with, and that they don't deserve to be in giant plastic slabs. I can also be wrong on that, and that's okay. Because there's other people out there that apparently think they need to be slabbed, and that's fine. That makes sense. It is the way of collectibles. That's how collectibles go. And if this is the run that we're doing, and, you know, we're catching up to where we should be, you know? These are 25-year-old cards now, you know? So we're getting to where, you know, getting them in the wild is going to be less and less. I will start seeing less and less of base set stuff come into my store. I guarantee it. After all this, you know, couple months. And it's going to be where the people that have it now realize they have it, and we saw it in video games, you know, where people were digging out all their old Nintendo stuff and putting it on eBay and going on forums and saying, hey, I have this Mario Brothers 3, it's selling for $40 right now. Should I hold on to it? Is this good? I don't know what, you know, and it's just like, we're going to see the same thing in Pokemon, and you know, it is going to be an interesting thing to watch. So, but you know, you have to kind of take lessons from, you know, things that you've seen before and the people that have been in that market before. So that's where my head's at. Are we going to get that graded? Absolutely. Are we going to grade pretty much every first edition WotC stuff that we come in? It'd be silly not to. At least the base set and early set stuff, yeah, we're going to probably zip it off and grade it. These are becoming, you know, something that is desirable. So as a business, I'm going to follow the money and get this stuff graded. So that's where we're at, guys. That's kind of stuff that I just want to make you aware that, you know, people are digging these out, and we're putting the stuff in the market. And as many people that are getting in to collect it, there's just so many people that are going, you know what? It was fun when I had these 20 years ago when I was a kid. Let's move them, you know, and just move on, because they probably hadn't looked at them for, you know, 10, 15 years anyways. So that's where my head's at. Appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Please let me know what you think. Do you have a Charizard? Do you have a base set Charizard? You can just, you have a collection of Charizards? What's up? Let me know what you guys have going on. I'll see you guys in the next video, huh? Hey, have a good day.